Good Sunday morning, everybody. It is the Sam Channel. I'm Chris Allen. The current time, as I'm doing this live, is 7:12 Central Time. On this January 5th, winter storm is happening as forecast, and it's occurring right now. If you haven't looked outside or been outside, it's happening. It's happening right now. So what I want to do is bring you up to date on what I've been seeing and so far what has been happening and what will happen or what we think will happen as far as the forecast and kind of go from there. Now I will tell you that I was out a little bit earlier, about an hour ago, and just out of curiosity went out, drove around. There is freezing rain and sleet that is coming down in Bowling Green. Sometimes I can hear it hitting my window. Other times there is just rain. And then it goes to freezing rain because all of the cars around here are covered in ice. And there are little beads of ice that are just sitting on top of the windshields and covering the vehicles. And while I was out driving, I saw some of that trying to collect on bridges and overpasses. So it's already becoming dangerous out there. So what I want to do is tap into the News40 weather computer. And there it is. And so you'll be able to see everything that we show at News40 from the Weather Center and how this is all put together. You'll be able to see radar. You'll be able to see everything. So I'm going to keep my beautiful face off of the screen here so you can see everything. That way you can really see what's going on. Okay, so I've got this blown up as big as I can get it. So hopefully you guys will be able to, if you're on a phone or tablet, you can zoom in a little bit more. I'll try to go full screen when I can, but it's a little wonky when I try to do that because it wants to default back to me. So I've dialed in to the News40 weather system so you can see what I see when I'm there at News40 doing the weather. So first thing I want to show you is the radar. And what I'm going to do here is, let me see if I can go in and tap the motion here. Okay. Let me see if I can, this is going to be a challenge. I can tell. I thought I would have it perfectly lined up. Oh, I know what I got to do. Hang on just a second. Just give me a moment here. And I'll be able to show you what I need to show you. Okay. Oops. That's not what I wanted to show you. Well, there's something I wanted to show you. Okay. I have to think about this because it's like, this is a whole different way of doing this. And let me see if I can, oh, there it is. Okay. I found what I'm looking for. Okay. So now let me play the radar. So there you see on the right-hand side of your screen, News40 real-time radar. And you can see the time over the last hour. Most of what we're seeing in the pink and the purples is freezing rain and sleet. But there is snow. In fact, many of you have reported snow north of Bowling Green. And I'm not saying that line necessarily where it changes from the pink and purples to blue is it actually that's where the cutoff is, or that's where the changeover is. But with temperatures being colder, a few degrees colder to the north of Bowling Green, that's most likely pretty much the case, because I'm getting reports out of Litchfield, Munfordville, Brownsville, north of Glasgow, even up toward E-Town, that everything that's falling there is in the form of snow. but just south of that area, and Bowling Green is almost split north to south from snowflakes to rain, freezing rain, and sleet. So everybody is getting this morning. A mixture, a wintry mix of everything. I do think that there will be a time as the warmer air begins to move in from the south that we will see a changeover to all rain as we get into the middle part of the day. And then there may even be a break once the low pressure system passes through. A lot of this will cut off to just drizzle. There may be some freezing drizzle, maybe flurries, but then the backside of the system has still yet to come through. That won't happen until tomorrow. And that's when it's going to be all snow, I feel like. Okay, so let's take a look at the watches and warnings. And really, none of this has changed. You have the winter storm warning north of Bowling Green, which is going to continue, as the banner says there, through Monday evening. That's right, all the way through today, tonight, and into Monday evening. I don't see this changing unless the system is going to move through a little faster. But at this point, that has been extended to go through pretty much most of the day tomorrow. Same goes for the winter weather advisory, which covers Bowling Green and all of southern Kentucky, kind of that bluish color that you see that goes all the way down to the Nashville area. They are under the same thing. And then you have the ice storm warning, which takes in from Owensboro, Hartford, Beaver Dam, and Ohio County, and then back toward Hopkins. I'm sorry, Hopkins County is what I should have said, not Ohio County, but the Madisonville, Earlington area in Hopkins County, and then west out toward Cape Girardeau, Carbondale. That's where some of the worst of icing is expected and ice storm conditions. Now, we're getting some ice here, and we're going to continue to see some of that freezing rain and sleet. How long it lasts is the big question. The longer it lasts as that form, the worse the icing is going to be for us, even here in the Bowling Green area. So we've got to watch how this is all going to play out over the next few hours. Here's a look at the winter weather impact, which also this is valid all the way through Monday evening. You've got the minor yellow shaded areas here for minor impacts on travel and the power grid. So far, I've not heard of any power issues. I think it's way too early to be concerned about that. But like I said, if this freezing rain and sleet continue for much of the day, then we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a much bigger problem than maybe what we had first thought. So let's hope the form of precipitation either becomes a little more liquid or becomes more snow than anything else. But the further north you go, that's where the big travel problems and power grid problems are going to be. And then I would say also back toward Paducah and western Kentucky, southeastern Missouri, where the ice storm warning is in effect. Those are where the impacts are going to be the worst. I want to show you the way it looks downtown right now at 7:22 a.m. This is the scene, a very wintry scene. This is our AAA Systems live camera that is atop Reservoir Hill. And this is the way downtown Bowling Green looks with sleet and freezing rain falling. Now, it looks like it has snowed. But everything that you're seeing here on the rooftops and on car tops and well, vehicles in general, and sidewalks and things like that, surfaces, is freezing rain and sleet collected to look. It looks like snow, but we've had no snow reported in Bowling Green. This is all ice. I don't see that much in the way of accretion or collection, if you will, on the power lines and trees. But like I said, we're still early into this. And the longer we go with this staying like it is at the moment, then we could be in trouble later, especially as the temperatures get colder. Eventually, this is going to change to snow as we get into tomorrow. That's when the colder air is going to come in. Over the next 12 hours, the wintry mix will continue. And if the temperatures, pretty much stay like they are, you saw 28 downtown. We're going to stay 28 to 30. But the thing is that there's a shallow enough layer of cold air below freezing air at the surface. That's why we're getting the freezing rain. And then above us, it's just a little bit warm enough to be sleet or rain that freezes on contact. But that little surge of warmer air that comes in later this afternoon will change it to rain, as you see there, as we get up to, say, 35, 37. And will we get into the 40s? That's the big question. If we do, then that's going to save us from getting any kind of additional icy conditions. It will then change to more of a liquid. And that's what we want to keep us away from any kind of additional icing that could take place. But as I check temperatures from the Kentucky Mesonet Network, and this is as of right now, which is right now is 7:25 Central Time. If you're watching this later, just know these are the temperatures at 7:25 a.m. Sunday morning. And you see that they're looking at much colder air to the north of us, and then the little bit warmer air to the south. So where you see a lot of these 27s and 28s, it's mostly snow. But then once you get, as you saw on radar, get from Bowling Green south, it's more of a freezing rain sleet mixture. Rain comes down, freezes on contact because surfaces are colder than the rain that is coming down. But as this changes, you're going to see the precipitation type change. And we need to be thinking about that because what you're getting right now may not stay that way. Let's hope that it doesn't, because then that's going to be a big problem. The winds right now are coming out of the east, 5 to 10 miles per hour, but the winds, as the low pressure system comes in, the winds are forecast to pick up. In fact, the winds will become breezy later this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow. Now, if there's any ice collection on trees and power lines, there's a problem. There's a much bigger problem. And that's where we could have the weight of the ice that's on tree branches and power lines could weigh things down and then cause tree branches to break, fall into a power line, and there goes your power. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but the longer we get freezing rain and sleet, it's more likely to happen once the winds begin to pick up. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully you've prepared for the possibility of losing power, because somewhere in the area, somebody's going to lose power. It's just kind of a given. It's just based on this, the strength of the winter storm and everything that is packing with it. Unless we just go to that warm nose comes in and stays a lot longer than we have forecast, that would save us from having too much of a power issue or even travel issue. All right. Here's a look at the current forecast, and starting with this evening. Let's see here. Sunday, 5:30. Let me back this up. I'm going to go into this graphic because I feel like the timing is not what it should be. Okay, we're at Sunday. Yeah, okay, Sunday, 7 a.m. It's going to go to Monday, 6:30. Okay. Now, I want to play this and frame by frame. This is right now, or we're a little bit after 7, almost 7:30. So you see the temperatures here. This is a forecast. So it may not be exactly the way we've laid it out or what's happening at the moment, because we're getting a lot of freezing rain and sleet, and it's showing, this forecast is showing snow. But it does kind of lay out the areas pretty well as to who gets what. Okay, so here we go, and I'll back this up a little bit more. If I can get in there and move that. That's not going to let me do it. Okay. Let me try it this way. Here we go. So here we go, 9:30, 10 o'clock. I still think a lot of what we're going to see is that pink area, which is the freezing rain and sleet, a little bit longer than what it has here. And then here comes the warmer air this afternoon and this evening. Temperatures do rise, it appears, into the mid 30s. And look at around Nashville, getting up to around 50, maybe even warmer than that, with thunderstorms. That was what I was saying in my earlier video when I was out driving in this, and I got cut off. By the way, I got cut off by a phone call, and that shut down my driving video. So if you're wondering what happened, that's what happened. But anyway, you can see that there is that possibility of thunder because of the there's some convection going on. There will be going on south of us in Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, severe weather even. But here comes the low pressure system tonight. Here we go, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And this is kind of the lull that I was talking about that will be happening overnight tonight around midnight. And look, this is showing we could be as warm as 41. But 41 at the surface may not be 41 above us. So with the low pressure system coming in, it's naturally going to cut off the main core of precipitation, but the precipitation, according to this, still could fall as frozen precipitation, but then melt as it hits the ground. That would be just mainly rain if these temperatures hold true. That's the big question. Will this stay like this? Then as the low passes, notice the temperatures start to fall as we get into tomorrow morning. Here's 3 a.m. tomorrow. Then we go 4, 5, and look what happens. Temperatures continue to fall into Monday morning, about the time that you would get up and go to work. Kids would be going to school, and I know some are not going back tomorrow. Some have already called off, or I think they had one more holiday break day tomorrow, I think Warren County schools and some other school systems. I don't know. But anyway, if you were planning on going, out tomorrow morning, it could be problematic in that it looks to be snowing. With the temperatures looking like this. And here's the other thing that's going to happen. is on the backside of this system. As we get into tomorrow and everything changes to all snow, we'll have what's called evaporative cooling. That's where there's always an amount of heat in every raindrop, in every icy, mix, snowflake. There's what's called latent heat. There's a little bit of heat that's trapped in there, and that is released. So when that's released, everything cools, and with the evaporation of the moisture, as that happens, as the moisture comes down in whatever form it's going to be, it releases enough heat so that everything cools super fast. And if that happens, then we're looking at some pretty good snow here. And when I say that, I mean an inch to a couple of inches for however long this lasts. And here we are at 10:30, 11 a.m., noontime tomorrow, still snowing, according to this, in Bowling Green, depending on how fast this system moves. And then finally, by tomorrow afternoon, that system moves out. And then this is when the cold air starts to really take over. Look, by tomorrow night, temperatures will start to fall into the teens and 20s. And the problem is whatever falls is going to stay, because we're not going to get above freezing anytime soon. In fact, much of next week is going to be quite chilly. The coldest air of the season, which I'm going to show you here in just a second. There is that graphic moving through time as we go into the afternoon, into this evening. Low pressure system moves on, and then the transition back to snow with the colder air coming in tomorrow. All right, let's check. I can check road temperatures. Now, this one I'm going to have to stop too, because it's wanting to go all the way through. Let's go frame by frame here. Here we are right now. Where you see the blue, that is where freezing is most likely occurring. Surface temperatures, pavement temperatures. There are sensors all over the state of Kentucky at different places. When you're going across the interstate, there's one of them up at Smith's Grove before you get to Buc-ee's, where the pavement turns to concrete, and then you see these little slats that run across the highway. Those are temperature sensors, and we've got them all over the place. So the sensors right now are reading below freezing, and so that's why you're seeing the blue. Where the green is, it's mostly just either snow cover or there's just rain, wet roadways. Mostly wet roadways here in Bowling Green, but you can see as the warmer air comes in, we get a little bit of a transition. The worst of the travel is going to go north with everything. Now, some of these numbers don't look correct, so we may have to double check that. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, here's the backside of that system tomorrow. And that's when the pavement temperatures are forecast to, that's when we're really going to have some issues. But some of this, the numbers are not changing like they should. So I don't really trust that graphic. We'll just move on past that one. Okay. But anyway, surface temperatures are going to be, now look, this is what I'm talking about. Look, this is a live view of Scottsville Road right now at 7:37 a.m. Central Time from our AAA Systems Wingate Hotel camera. What you're looking at is Scottsville Road at Cumberland Trace down at the bottom of the screen. And then you see the interchange with I-65. Now, these roads have even been treated, but the problem is we've had rain go on top of the brine mixture that the highway department has put down. But anytime there's rain, it washes a lot of it away. So look at the collection now of the freezing rain and sleet that is currently happening on Scottsville Road. And you can see people are not going as fast as they normally would. And I would say there's a lot of slick spots out there, especially once you get up to that bridge at the top there, at exit 22. And then side streets and back roads are going to be worse than that. So we've had a collection now of several hours of freezing rain and sleet. And you can see evidence of that right now from our Wingate Hotel camera. So, are you going to venture out this morning? If you do, this is what you're going to face in Bowling Green. Yeah, people are moving around, but very slowly. And that's good. That's the problem with freezing rain. You may think, oh, it's just raining. But then once you get out on the streets, this is what you find. And that's a problem. Okay, I want to show you the next several days, the next 7 days. This has been updated as of the information that I have this morning. Notice normal high is 46. That's why you see all the little 46s there at the top. That's the normal high temperature for this time of the year. But look where we're going to be. In some cases, 15 to 20 degrees colder than that. There's tomorrow's snow at 60% coverage. Then we're going to see several days very cold but dry. Now, I will tell you there's another system that's coming in next Friday that is already of interest. It looks like the temperatures will be right there on the fence once again, and we could be looking at another winter system for next Friday and next weekend. Right now, the chances are pretty low at 20%, but I do think that will change. So that will be the next system to watch next Friday. Until then, whatever's falling today, tonight, and tomorrow, there's going to be very little melting that will take place, maybe for a few hours, but then everything is going to freeze completely. It doesn't matter what kind of form of precipitation you're getting right now or will get later, all of it will freeze over. And that's going to cause the problems that we're going to see starting tomorrow and for much of the week ahead. So to stay up to date, I encourage you to download, as I always do, the News40 Weather App. We've got, I'll show you the QR code here in a moment, which you can scan down at the bottom of the screen with your phone. Just put your phone up to it, open your camera app that's on your phone like you're going to take a picture, and just hold it up to that QR code, and you will be able to see a link that pops up there, and you can download the app, because we're going to keep everything updated on the app continuously, because we don't have on TV, we don't have the regular news programs like we do during the week. So the best way to stay up to date on everything is to download the app, which you can see right below me, right there. That's where you just hold your phone up to it, open up the camera app, and you should be good to go. Okay. And I know that was a little cumbersome. That's the first time I've done a live update like this, doing it from home and tapping into the weather computer at News40. I knew it could be done, but it was a little wonky. So I apologize for that. It's not going to be the beautiful, polished. I'm not polished either. I've got on a hat and t-shirt. This is all behind the scenes stuff. So I thank you for bearing with me. Somebody's saying that the sound is messed up going in and out. I apologize. That's got to either be Wi-Fi issue or internet issue. Sorry about that. Okay. So let me get out of this and come back to me. Maybe that'll improve the sound. Let's see. Yeah. Let me get out of that. Yeah, I can tell I'm having some internet issues because everything is herky jerky. But anyway, it could be that because I was tapped into the weather computer at News40 that it was slowing everything down. But anyway, uh, so the forecast today, as I have put it up here, or as I've looked at it, the winter mix is going to continue. There may be a time that we get as warm as the low 40s, possibly even the mid 40s. And especially for those of you that live along the Tennessee border, there is going to be that time that happens. And my window out, I'm hearing the sleet hitting the window at the moment, here at 7:45. Breezy, the winds are going to pick up today. And then that mixture of freezing rain, sleet, and snow, and even just rain is going to continue for today. And you saw by the video cameras, by our AAA systems cameras, it's icing over everywhere. Everywhere. Tonight, that mix continues, breezy, with a low of 29, 30, give or take. And then tomorrow, we're only going to make it up to 33, with mainly the changeover to all snow. And it will be windy, and that's going to make matters worse. Wind chills, temperatures are not going to get above freezing pretty much for anyone as we get into the day tomorrow and tomorrow night. It's just going to be not a good situation to be out at all. So there's likely going to be a lot of school closings. There's even, I think, a slew of church or even business closings. And you can go to WNKY.com there. And even on the app, even on the weather app, you'll be able to go in and see all the closings that are happening as of right now and for tomorrow. Let's see. What else? Down the road, temperatures are, I should say, going to be not getting above freezing. I don't see that happening. And during the nighttime, there are going to be temperatures in the teens as we get into next week, just to give you an idea of what's coming. So there you go. Some of you getting snow right now, some of you getting the icy wintry mix, and that looks to continue for much of the day. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for trusting me and News40 and our weather team, Darius and Micah, and for helping you try to get all of this mess put together in some semblance to where you can understand, hopefully, what's going to happen as we go through time. In the meantime, have a great Sunday. God bless you. Stay safe. And I may do another update later on. We'll see. But God bless.